What's good, y'all? What's up with it? It's your girl, Poppy.
And I'm Joanna, but you can call me Joe.
Hey y'all, it's Sierra.
And today, you're tuned in to Girl, Let Me Tell You. Girl, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this question of the day. I want to get in y'all's business and know, are you guys dating? How do you feel about dating? What's that looking like for you? How many looking at?
Not how many.
Prospects, everything. Give me all the tea.
Okay, all the tea. Truth be told, dating for me right now is looking like absolutely not. She's busy, she's a mother, she goes to work all day. Sometimes I truly think about like people who have kids and then date. Like, I don't know, I feel like I give so much of myself to work. Then I come home and give so much of myself to my child. Baby, if I had a man, what am I gonna give to you? I ain't got too much to give.
I'm weak.
You know what I mean?
I have nothing. I'm nothing. I was literally just thinking that even when you said nothing. For me, I'm very much big single too, but I'm single by choice. So I have made a conscious decision to remain very selfish until God decides to bring somebody into my life. I'm trying to be more intentional about who's getting my time because I just don't want it to be wasted. I have very strict boundaries, very strict expectations. So if you're intimidated by that, just don't even try it. But like you, she mingles occasionally.
Don't even try.
just please no.
For me, I am also team big single. It is semi by choice. So 2016, God gave me a dream, essentially telling I had to do these certain things, which equaled wholeness. And so I'm currently working on those things, and I know where I am with those things. So I am single, but I'm open for like the friendship portion of it. So if you came in as a friend, great. But yeah, I'm single.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But listen, team single, we've all said team single. And just so y'all know, this is the great team to be on. Like, it might be the best team.
It's
still a good team. It is lit. It's still very much a team.
It is.
Don't get it twisted because it's still fun.
Okay, because we're all in this
together.
Okay, period.
We're all stars.
Period.
And we see that. Just letting y'all know, we see. Okay.
All right, y'all. So this is episode 4 of season 2. And as y'all heard, we are all big single, but happy and thriving. So today's episode is about relationships. We're going to hit on this topic head on. And so to do that, we have special guests. And their names are Terrance and Paige Williams. Okay, they're a married couple, y'all. We come in here married, bringing the marriage. So, y'all, let's give a warm welcome, a loud clap, yell, scream, dance, do what you gotta do, and welcome Terrance and Paige Williams.
Hello, everybody. We are the Williams. My name is Terrance Williams.
And I'm Paige Williams.
And we've been married for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years toward the end of this month, or end of this year in October.
Yes. And we've been together.
We've been best friends for almost
a long time.
8 years. And we've been together for almost...
It'll be 5 years.
5.
Yep, 5 years.
Yeah, 5 at the end of this year. So...
Wow.
Love to see it.
No, literally. That's amazing. You said 8 years, and I was like, dang.
Ooh, I know, right? We be talking about it, I'll be like, dang, it's for real been almost a decade.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining the Girl Let Me Tell You podcast today. We are so happy and just thankful that you guys are here, sharing your time, sharing your story. And so we're just going to go ahead and get into this gig. Okay. So I want to ask a question. Okay. So on the lines of just being married, I want to know why.
Why? Why are
You
we
wanna start with why?
married?
Right.
Well, it's been a journey. Like we said earlier, we started out as best friends, and like best friends that were never going to be anything but best friends. Never was anything in between. Paige said very early in our friendship, like, I don't like you like that. I'll never like you like that. And I was like, I ain't never gonna like you like that either. So we're fine. It's cool. So getting to where we are now, I think is kind of a God thing. A lot of our friends would say, like, why aren't y'all dating, or y'all gonna get together eventually? And we were always like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like,
Not happening.
hard no. But I guess like once it got to that point, like it just made sense. Paige has always just been that person that has grown me for a very long time in our relationship. And so I feel like that was like a piece of why she was attractive to me, outside of her just being drop dead gorgeous. But I don't know, what's your why?
My why? I think my why is just because, I mean, Terrance is my friend. And I feel like that's just really important. I was just able to be myself with him. And I feel like I did bring, I wouldn't call it baggage, but like I brought a lot of things into our relationship. Like I've been through a lot of things, and I've experienced a lot of things, and Terrance was just, he was very kind. And I mean, we just have a lot of fun together.
Yeah,
like
we do.
sometimes I even forget, like, oh, this is my husband. Like,
For real, we best.
because yeah, and it's just like so much fun, and we just like we have a good time together. But then we can also
forget her name. They be like, "What's up, Sister Williams or Mrs. Williams?" And she be like,
Sister Williams.
Who is that?
And I'm like, oh, that's me. But yeah, so yeah, that's my why. He's my best friend. And so
yeah, I feel like we started very intentional. I feel like, and I had to be, because we were so close at the time, like when we first started dating. I was like, I don't want to lose you as a friend. So this is it. we
gotta work.
We go together, like
real bad.
We go together now. Real bad.
Like, so that was kind of a thing with our relationship from the beginning, was like not like we were just like, okay, we're getting married soon, but it was like this is going to be our last relationship, because to not have you in my life would be terrible, you know? And so I feel like that was kind of hard, like a hard decision, like during that time of when we were like playing back and forth of whether we were going to start dating or not. But the fact that we started like that, and the fact that we had such a strong friendship beforehand, I feel like made it a lot easier to get that serious faster.
I noticed that you guys said at the beginning you were just friends, and you kind of set that boundary and that expectation of, I don't like you, you don't like me. So I want to know, do you think that boundary still exists in marriage, and what does that look like for you?
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you want to start with?
Oh, Lord. Boundaries definitely exist within marriage. I feel like both with each other, and then with any other like friendship or relationship that you have outside of your marriage. Boundaries are important, but like being honest and communication, I feel like communication is a big part of the boundaries. So you can have boundaries or want boundaries, and if you don't communicate them or effectively like communicate with each other to understand like why these boundaries are boundaries for you, I feel like it makes it a lot harder for those boundaries to be real.
Growing up, like my dad was very gentle with me. Like he never yelled at me. Like if I was in trouble, he would just like calmly talk to me. But Terrance came from a family where like
Loud.
they're loud and they're
at each other.
abusive,
Yes.
and like they're just like cutthroat. Like the first thing that comes to their head, like that's what they say. But I grew up in you know, a household where my parents, they were slow to speak, and they really like processed, you know, what they were going to say before they would say it, you know, to me and my brother. So like when me and Terrance would like have disagreements or something, you know, his voice would be elevated. Not that he was yelling, but that was just
more passionate.
It was a lot. It was a
more
lot.
passionate tone. Yeah.
So I had to tell him like, hey, like when we are, having really intense discussions, like I need for you to be gentle for me. And that was just a boundary that I had to create so that, I'm okay, but also that I'm able to receive the things that he's saying to me, the best way.
Yeah. But I think I'm more chill. So I'll be like, I don't really like have to set a lot of boundaries because Paige is really easy to deal with for me, but I can be extra intense sometimes. And so
it's the way she looks back intense.
Yeah, your boy. And so I feel like she's like the yin to my yang sometimes. So like I think that was kind of going back to that first question. That's like one thing that I feel like is why we're married, because we complement each other really well. But Paige is really good at enforcing boundaries.
Oh yes, I am.
She gonna tell you how she feels and why she feels that way. Like as a man, it's hard to hear things like that people feel like either you're doing wrong or that you need to change, but it's even harder to intentionally change those things over time. If there's something wrong, like I really work at trying to change it, come into a compromise with each other. Like there are times where I'm loud and Paige is like, okay, I understand why he's loud and I'm not going to make a big deal. But then there's other times where she's like, okay, you did too much. And I'm like, you know what I did? Let me chill.
A given. We don't really have that many boundaries. Is that bad?
No. You do what works for you. Works for you. I think it's actually really beautiful to just hear you guys openly talk about your marriage, your boundaries, your relationship, because it just kind of shows the union that you do have in I guess in a marriage 2 years, right? But it also just shows a testament to how long you've known each other and how you do know, okay, Terrance is just loud today because he's Terrance, or Paige is like this because she's Paige. So I just think it's really beautiful, and I'm just like living for this moment. So this is really cool.
Yeah, and I have a couple questions, but I'm gonna ask this one. Excited for this episode. But okay, so I first want to go back to like the best friend thing. So do you all think that played like a vital part in y'all's relationship, like starting at the best friend level? Or do you think you might have had to like maneuver y'all's relationship differently if it was just like I see her across campus, I see him across campus, who is that? And then like start dating.
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say it's both. More so, it was easier. I would say it was a lot easier, and I recommend everybody creating a best friend before they get into a relationship with somebody, because you learn so much about your friends than you do with somebody that you're dating when you start. Like, we're just dating. Like, that's we meet each other, we think each other's cute, and then we start dating. Like, you learn so much less because you're trying to be cute. Those stages, those talking stages, you're trying to be cute. You're trying to keep it, fresh. You ain't trying to like go too deep. And I feel like us as best friends, like I was myself, like at all times. And we were in college, so we was growing and learning and changing. And so like, I think it was cool that we were that close before anything happened, because when things get hard, or when we get through go through tough situations, we're able to lean on the fact that like we know each other past the love aspect. We're friends, like we have that connection. So I think it makes it easier. On the flip side, when we started dating, Paige's dad was like, oh no, what? I'm confused. Y'all been best friends. This is almost like your brother. What is going on? And so I feel like on that aspect, it was a little jarring for some of our family members, and that made it a little harder because they were so used to seeing us in one capacity. That when it changed, it was like your dad was just like,
he was too
I don't know. He was like, I don't know about
it. I mean, okay, but a question inside of a question. Did you two have that moment of like, wait, he look a little different to me. Hold on, that's Terrance. Or hold on, that's Paige. Like, did you guys have to also maneuver the shift from friendship to relationship?
No, you definitely had it.
We debate about this to this day. My brother got married in September of 2018. We started like talking, dating like November-ish. September, she claims that she had no feelings. So the October season was when it happened. Air quotes. But when I was my brother's best man, and so when I walked down the aisle, Paige was looking at me like I was the finest man in the world, and I knew like the look was different. It felt different. She was like,
"Oh,
she claimed
look that good, like in college, you looking scruffy." I've never seen it. I mean, like edge up is as crisp as can be. And I mean, like the suit just looked really nice. And he was just like glowing. Like I was just like, oh, okay. He looks good, but not he look good. I'm trying to get with him. He look good. That's my best friend.
Yeah, so that I feel like that was the moment where on my family side, they were like, oh, y'all gonna be together. My mom, that night, my mom was like, Terrance, I want Paige to be my daughter-in-law. And I was like, Mama, no.
Yeah, we're
that's no.
Weird.
But yeah, so on that side, wait, what was the question?
Oh Lord.
Talk about the month or the week that you did not talk to me before.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I did, like you said, I did have a dream that we were together, and sometimes, my dreams be happening. And so I did not, I wouldn't say I was afraid, but I was like really nervous. So I would literally text my friends and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally had this dream about Terrance. Like we were together. Like that was my boyfriend. Like that's weird. And so seeing him, after the dream, I literally had avoided him for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like at the time, Terrance didn't have a car. So after we would have,
I was depending on her to go places.
He was like, come pick me up. And you was like, absolutely not.
Yes, he had to be gone. I'd just be like, okay, bye, Terrance. Like, see you later. And just like leave. Like,
yeah. We were in Higher Praise Gospel Choir. We restarted like the gospel choir at Oklahoma State. And so after practice, she would take me home. And for the 2 weeks, no. She was gone.
You at the church.
She was skedaddle.
Was
gone.
Really, really, really trying to avoid him. But I will say that the moment that it really changed from best friend to, oh, I think I want to be with this person, is one morning towards the end of my semester, y'all, Terrance literally just texted me good morning with this blue heart. And I literally had got butterflies. And I was like, good morning. Like,
I think that was the day I asked you to be my girlfriend.
I think so. And it like, no, that wasn't that day.
Oh, but that was the day I told you about my feelings.
Yes. And it just like, it was just this different feeling. I'm like, okay, I've never felt this way about him before. Like, this is really weird. Like, he's texted me good morning, plenty of times before.
But this time it just hit a little different.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is different.
She had a little time.
I was wrestling with it. But I mean, we're here now, so.
And I love that. I love this so much because as y'all were talking, I remember Terrance telling me that he liked you. I remember we were at Stillwater in my car at Walgreens, and he was like, Sierra, I got something to tell you, but you promise don't tell nobody. And I was like, I ain't gonna tell nobody. But I remember it. And so I just love hearing y'all's like love story. And so my next question is, were you all each other's love language? Was that something you had to like learn with each other?
Oh, we're still working on that.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
We are actually not each other's love language. We are the opposite of each other's love languages. I feel like. So mine is physical touch and words of affirmation. Like they're kind of neck and neck. Paige, what's yours?
Quality time.
Quality time. Yeah. So Paige's quality time is talking and speaking. And it can be times where she just wants to hang out, but mostly it's like us having conversations, us being, having that intentional time, like me listening and her talking and me talking and her listening. And I'm a man of not many words. And y'all might not like think that that's Yeah,
True?
Is it true? Come on now, Terrance.
So let's take a commercial break real quick. I realized after college that I am an introvert. I am not an extrovert. I am an introverted extrovert. I am mainly an introvert. I can turn it on and it can seem as if I'm an extrovert, but I feel like I was always involved in college, so I had to be extroverted. But I get social anxiety. I do. Sometimes like I be real drained and tired, and Paige is like, let's talk. Let's do this. What do you want to do? And I'm like, yeah.
But also because he has
all right
a job where he has to like give
yes
for 8 hours of the day. But then I have a job where I don't have to give.
She on the computer
all the time.
typing.
And so when I come home, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to tell you this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And how was your day? And what did you do? What did you eat for lunch? Like all of the things. And Terrance is like,
it was good.
I just want you.
Work was good. That's my answer. Work was work.
He's given so much to everybody else that.
And that's one thing I really had to learn with work.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to get 100% of my social battery because I have a wife that needs at least a good 45% of it. Mm-hmm. And so like, that was hard. That was like a hard transition. I feel like when we got married, so I had to learn that for sure. But on my side, Paige is not a physical touch person. She doesn't hug her friends. She doesn't like, she's had to really learn that with me too. I'm like, are you going to come in the house and give me a kiss and a hug? I need that. I need that.
I'd be like, hey.
Be like, hey.
I'm home.
I mean, like, okay. All right.
She walking in the house. Hello, how are you?
Right. Immediately, let's start talking. let's start conversating. So yeah, that's like, I feel like a compromise for sure for us.
Do you guys have any like practical ways that you've tried to, implement in order to work on, okay, he needs physical touch. Maybe this can be something that we can work on. Things like that.
Yeah, so like our couch is really big. And so sometimes we're like on the opposite sides
literally
of the couch. And I have tried to make more of an effort to like, okay, let me be closer to him. So that he feels loved, in his love language. Just trying to be closer to him, and like we're in the car, I'm like touching his neck or like
you did walking. That today, and I was like, thank you.
And we're like, when we're driving or walking or something, like I'm clinging on to him or like holding his hand, or when we're
letting me like hold on to her, because I'm a mama's boy, so I used to do this to my mama all the time, just like guys, on her arm, and she does not like it.
She said
like you.
I don't.
I would say for me, being what's the word, present in our conversations. Even sometimes she'll call me like something at work, or she feels like stressed about something. Instead of like doing other things, I try to just be intentional for that time. And then like also being more communicative. I'm very internal. I'm an internalized person. So I think everything through in my mind. I'm like going through a whole bunch of stuff like in my mind, and I feel like maybe I told her that already, but no,
he didn't.
So then like we'll be at my sister's house, and I'll start talking about something. Feel like, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that either. And so like also remembering that like the things that are going on in my mind, she needs to know about them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that just going back to how we were raised and like how we saw our parents love, I think also plays a huge part in like how we love each other.
Her parents were like, they didn't show physical touch or physical love a lot in front of them. And my parents were always like playing and fighting each other and playing around, and and so like that was like that difference. She was like, we don't gotta be touching all the time, kissing all the time. And I'm like,
you know do. That I love you.
He said, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Girl, you better get over here.
So that was, yeah, definitely knowing that. I think that's good. Good for any partners, like to know like the background of their partner, knowing like how are your parents, what was your relationship with your parents? How did that really impacts the way that you show up as a spouse.
Y'all, I just have to say, I am loving this. I'm loving this conversation. I'm loving this vibe. I appreciate your openness, Terrance and Paige. Y'all are just really, y'all are just giving me everything I need to know. Okay. So I want to ask, just from everything you guys have shared, do you guys have like a top 5 list of like, these are your essentials for marriage? Like, do you have like a top 5 essentials list? Like, this is what's been getting us through these past 2 years.
The Lord.
That's what I was about to
Period.
say. Prayer, Lord, your relationship, favor, all of those things. I feel like, yeah, let's just start there because that's a whole talk. But like, that's one thing I feel like that was really strong in our relationship and in our friendship to start with. Like, we both knew that we were believers. We both had like that strong relationship. And even in college when we weren't really like going to church like that, not really like super being like
having the time of my life.
Yeah.
And it be like that. And it be like that.
We had to do. But like as Christ believers and as like Christians, like we strive like to live our lives like the way God wants us to. And I feel like that gives us a level of favor that really be blowing our minds sometimes. God has answered all of those prayers. And so definitely prayer life and like connection keeps us strong. Like when I feel weak or when my faith is like a little shaken, I feel like she holds me up and then vice versa. And so definitely God.
Like he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor has a whole new meaning. Like when you're actually living it. People say this all the time, but marriage is definitely ministry. Because just being married to Terrance, I feel like God has shown me so many things about myself that like I didn't even know, like, oh wow, like I'm really like this. Like I should probably work on this more. And yeah, God is definitely number 1. Number 2, I would say, is our family.
Okay.
Just within our family alone, we have a lot of good examples of what marriage is and what marriage should look like. And so I'm very thankful to that for that.
And I think that's important. Like we kind of touched on that earlier, but it's important to know whoever you're going to marry, their family, because you can avoid a lot knowing like they don't have a good relationship with their family. Not saying that that's a necessity or that's going to ruin your relationship, but it comes down the line. Easier. Like down the line, it's going to become something. So you either have to be able to be ready to address that with them, or if it's good, like, in our case is like her family's my family's her family. And so it doesn't feel like they're all rooting for us. Like, and that, I think that really helps too, is like, well, us being best friends, like we knew each other's families before we were really dating. And so my family was like, oh yeah, she in the family already. We love her. Like, and so we go to them when we need advice, sometimes, and they always are pouring into us and encouraging us. And so like, it's good to have family that support you and that are there for you.
Yeah. So number 3, communication.
Just being able to be, and our communication has grown and changed, and it'll continue to change because you continue to change. Like who I was yesterday is not exactly who I am today, like even today, which is kind of weird, but you have to realize that y'all are constantly changing. And so you have to be open and honest about where you're going and how you're feeling. And that's really hard for me sometimes.
Number 4, someone who's good with money.
Ooh, finances.
Oh, that's right.
Security. That's a thing.
Financial security.
Yes. That is education or smarts in that area. Yeah.
Because I'm not the best. Okay. Give me money and I'm going to spend it. I'm going to spend it.
Her philosophy is give me more money, so spend it.
Like, as long as the bills are paid, I can do whatever. my money. But that's not the case.
And I'm frugal. I'm very frugal. So I'm pinching.
Joanna. Yep.
Yes.
Right, Joanna, frugal friend.
Yes.
Joanna is the frugal friend.
Yes. I
Okay.
call myself frugal friend. I ain't spending. Not that.
No.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, that's definitely
being financially mature is very important.
Yeah.
At least one of y'all gotta be. Because we can't both.
Yeah,
Okay.
it can't both be out.
Because we'll be living in a box.
Number 5.
Number 5.
You have to like the person.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean friendship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
That sounds
very cliche. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like being friends. Because when you don't like them, you still like them.
What? When you don't like them, you still like them?
Like when me and you are beefing, when me and you are like, I'm like, well, I don't like you right now, but I like you. Like, I don't like you right now.
Like my mama. Okay. My mom used to say, like, when we would have disagreements and stuff, oh, I don't like you right now, but I love you. Oh, I don't like you. Yeah. So, okay. I see
having that, and sometimes like people put love above like, which I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, you can love
somebody, but you don't gotta like them.
Right.
Exactly.
Like them. And so like the fact that we actually like each other, and like this weekend, she had a girls' weekend, and like I went to my parents' house to let her and her friends like hang out. And we was texting each other like, I miss you. What do you do? Aww. I was bored. So I was like, realizing that we like really like spending time with each other, like we like hanging out, like we like our life. Like it's not forced. It makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Good top 5.
See, y'all make me hopeful for the future.
Yeah, y'all real. That was a great top 5. Mm-hmm.
That was really good. I have one more question too. What has been the highlight of your marriage thus far, or just your entire relationship?
Our wedding was definitely a highlight. Like
day one.
Like that was, yeah, the wedding was like one of our favorite days, for sure. Like we literally had all the people that we loved there celebrating with us, and it was great. It was a great day.
My highlight, I think, would be Terrance and my dad's relationship. Like that actually like becoming a thing. Like they're besties.
Yeah, that's my road dog.
Yeah.
For real.
Honestly, it was like after our wedding, something just like clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And like my dad wasn't being standoffish anymore.
Yeah. And she's a daddy's girl, so that's expected. Like, I'm probably gonna be that way with my daughter. Like, ain't nobody good enough for you. That vibe, so I wasn't, it was never anything that I took personally. I just knew that I was a good guy. So I was like, you gonna like me eventually. Mm-hmm. Parents don't dislike me, so you're gonna like me. But yeah, no, our relationship was that's definitely a good one.
Highlight.
That was a good one.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes, I love those. Those are really good highlights.
Yes, sure.
I'm just want to add this part about, because like y'all said y'all's wedding, so I was like a highlight for me for y'all's wedding was that okay? So,
tell
it. My highlight for y'all's wedding was so like during the invitation portion, how like y'all had that set up. Like I remember Poppy and we were so excited to get invitations, but then you had like that period for like the second invitation thing going on, and we were texting back and forth like, did we get this invited? Have you got your invitation? Did you see it? Like we were just going berserk.
No, we were freaking out. Because they had like a 2-section invitation thing, and we got the first one and we were like, okay, cool. And then the second one we was like, are we gonna be in the thing or not in the thing?
Happening or no? No, of course y'all were gonna be there.
Yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that, Sierra.
Because then we got it. We was like, yeah, we were so lit.
So excited. I remember that. That's funny.
Okay, so as y'all know, it wouldn't be a Girl Let Me Tell You episode without a game. So of course, it's game time. Cue the music. Boom, boom. What you know about me? So this game is called What You Know About Me. What you know? So basically, we're all gonna ask you each individually questions. So the first round is gonna be Terrance, round 2 is gonna be Paige, and then round 3 is gonna be for the both of you. Just to see how well you guys know each other and let everybody get a feel of who you are and what your relationship is like. So, what you know about me? Round 1. First question, Terrance, what is Paige's number 1 pet peeve?
What is your number 1 pet peeve? Okay, so this is for me. This is her biggest pet peeve with me is when I leave my BBs on the floor. She literally hates
Not BBs.
Yes.
On the couch, on my water bottle, in my clothes.
That's not the truth.
Yes, it is true. Yes, it is. You got it wrong. But that is one of them. But my top one is definitely his clothes being everywhere. Like
yeah.
Working on it.
But we have sides of the room. So you stay on your side and don't look at my side. You'll be fine. You'll be completely fine. I promise.
Compromise.
There we go.
Sure.
There we go, Joe. There we go.
Yes.
That's funny.
Okay, y'all. So question 2. Terrance, what was Paige wearing the day you asked her to marry you?
She was wearing so she had on these long black boots, she had on black pants, and she had on this it was a black shirt, but it had it was sheer right here with black dots.
Oh, Paige, do you remember?
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He even got the sheer with the dots on the sleeve.
Right.
Yes. He said details. I need the dots on the sleeve.
Yeah.
I know my woman looked like that day. Okay.
I remember that day. That day was stressful for me, so I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Okay. All right, Terrance, here's my question. What is Paige's biggest fear?
Biggest fear?
That's a hard one.
Yeah. I want to say it's me passing away, but I don't know. I don't feel like that's it. She's like a superwoman. She ain't scared of a lot of things.
Okay. Is that your final answer? She ain't got no fears.
No fears.
That's no fears. That's my final answer.
No need to fear. Paige is here. Okay, she gonna handle it. Paige, is that correct?
I don't want you to die, but no, that's not.
What would you say?
I'm like, going to hell.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that one.
No, I think losing my dad.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Go with your gut, boo. Go with your gut.
Okay, so round 2 is for Paige. So my question for Paige, what song do you think reminds Terrance of you?
I think it would be First Began by PJ Morton. That's not right?
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So my question is, Paige, you're at an Italian restaurant. What is Terrance ordering?
Y'all giving her easy questions. I'm mad.
He's ordering shrimp and chicken carbonara. If we at Olive Garden. If we're not at Olive Garden, he's probably ordering like chicken Alfredo of some sort because he hates spaghetti. So
that's also right. Like both.
Okay.
Both.
All right. She's doing pretty good. I don't know if these are easy questions.
Right.
They didn't sound too easy when we wrote them down. Here's mine, Paige. What is Terrance's favorite scripture?
Oh, that's hard. I don't know that. I don't know that one. I'm not even gonna guess.
I want me to give you a hint?
Sure.
You might not even know this. I had to memorize this when I was young.
I know the story, but I don't know the scripture. Is it in Isaiah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 43.
19.
Well,
you was close with the first one.
I was 41. 2.
It's Isaiah 53.
Oh, Isaiah 53. Okay.
Yeah, Isaiah 53.
Okay.
When I was young,
now I need to go read it.
In one of my Bible study classes, the teacher was like, I'll give $80 to anybody that memorizes this chapter. And it was like 12, I think it's 12 verses. And me and my mom like practiced for like 2 weeks. And then I got the $80.
So round 3 is for the both of you. So we're going to see how that goes. Okay. First question. Who is the most romantic and explain why?
Definitely Terrance.
All of our anniversaries, all of everything, Valentine's Day, I plan it, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. I've always been a romantic. Like, I don't know why. And I love to plan things. So like, I don't want to go somewhere and not like know what we're doing or have like a, like make the most of our time.
So my question is, what movie title would y'all say best describes your marriage?
Something that's like fun.
Right, that's fun. I was thinking house party, but
Oh, okay. It's a house party.
I don't know. We ain't that much of a party, but having fun.
It's really hard.
Let's
come back to that one.
Yeah. Let's stick with house party.
That's fun.
That's cool. At least it's not like Scream 2 or something. So
Right.
That's good.
Okay, I was just glad we didn't say, why did I get married?
That one came to my mind. I was like, ooh, if somebody said that would be so funny.
That would be so funny. Glad we didn't go there. Love that
Right.
phrase. All right. Here is my question for round 3. Ooh, child. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Who, out of Terrance and Paige, is the better singer or vocalist?
Terrance. Definitely you.
I mean, I would say it was me, but
I am dead.
but I don't know. I feel like I like hearing Paige's voice more than I like hearing mine, and maybe because it's just my own voice. But when it comes to praise and worship, I think Paige has like another level anointing when she sings.
Okay.
So I would say Paige.
But Terrance is very like, he's technical. Like he's a technical singer. And so I may have a couple flat notes here and there.
I do the runs and the
he's like very Terrance's voice is very like buttery. And I feel like my voice is more of like a command.
Yeah, very strong.
I would say. And so
I
think our voices are very different, but I think that he's better about it.
Show
us. You guys ever harmonize with each other?
Yes.
Show us. Give us a little taste.
Yeah,
give us some of that best part.
Get a people.
Oh, come on now.
Terrance and Paige.
Well, thank y'all so much for playing the game with us. We loved hearing just more about who y'all are and about your relationship. And I hope that the viewers and listeners got a chance to do the same. So thank you so much for playing.
All right. Well, this was such a great episode. I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to sit with Terrance and Paige today. So I just want to say to you both, thank you again for coming on the Girl Let Me Tell You podcast. To Sierra and Joanna, thank y'all so much for joining this journey with me and coming and sitting and chatting. I appreciate y'all. To listeners and watchers out there, we love you guys so much.
Yes, y'all. The conversation does not stop here. But in the meantime, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and our episodes come out every other Friday at noon.
And of course, you can always tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you get your podcast. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Girl Let Me Tell You Podcast.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We really had a great time just talking about who we are and the different things that we have learned with being married. And we just pray that the things that we said just really touch someone and that maybe they could use some of the things that we've said and apply it to their life. But
catch us on the next episode of
Girl.
Let Me Tell You.